Hello, Mixtresses and Mixters. This is Mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video and I have to start this whole thing over. Oh my god. I was like halfway through this video. Okay, that's fine. You guys don't know about that. I don't need to give that stress to you. My SD card was full and I had never tried to like delete things from the video camera before, so I accidentally deleted the entire SD card. The entire thing. I'm going to try not to think about that because there's definitely some shit on there that I didn't transfer over. That's okay. It's okay. It's alright. I think it's okay. Surely it's okay. Surely it is. Okay. It is because it is. It's gone. Okay, cool. Let's go. Don't let the devastation set in. I should not have done that right now because I'm dumb because I'm on day 1 of my period. Okay, cool. So this is my accidental second copy of 200 Cigarettes. So you can see everyone that's in it if you want. I hope the light is good enough. It doesn't get very light in the downstairs of my house. This is Alien Quadrilogy. So this is the first 4... Okay, I didn't even tell you. I mean, you can see in the title. But this is my physical media collection DVD case edition. So, here we go. Alien Quadrilogy. So this is the first 4 Alien movies. I am very partial to the first one. I don't really... I remember the 4th one. I definitely saw that one a few times, but I feel like the 2nd and 3rd one I only saw like once. But yeah, I do enjoy... I mean, I think it was important to Michael that we have all 4 of these, but I would be fine with just rewatching Alien over and over again. Annihilation. When did this come out? Like 10 years ago? 20... It's very hard to see. 2018. This is a fucking weird... I'm gonna just read what's on the box. A visually stunning sci-fi thriller. I mean, it very much is. Also, the score is really amazing. This is just a stupid cover. Because it makes it look stupid. But it's not stupid. It's a good movie. Arrival. I saw both Arrival and Annihilation around the same time, although I think this one came out in 2016, the other one came out in 2018, but I get them not really mixed up in my head, but kind of, because they're both like sci-fi movies I saw around the same time that begin with an A. But this one was much more of a conventional sort of sci-fi movie. Like, this is a spiritual sister to Contact. You really could have a double feature with Contact and Arrival, and it would be good. Very good. Away we go. This is I realized in the last video that I tend to describe my movies as cute and sweet, because I think that's the type of movie that I buy. I buy movies that I want to watch over and over again. I buy movies that leave me with a sense of a reaffirmation of humanity at the end, you know? And this one is sweet. They're both about to become parents. She's very heavily pregnant, and it's funny. They're trying to figure out where they're going to raise their kid. They feel like they're not really adults yet. And so they're on this, like, it's like a road trip movie, essentially, because they're trying to find somewhere to settle. And it's just really sweet. Like, when do you ever get someone sort of exploring, like, you get people getting together, and then you get people later in their parenting journey, but when do you ever get people like when they're still coming to terms with the fact that they're about to be parents, you know? It's just interesting. And yeah, I think it's really good. The first 4 Batman movies. I have seen the first 3 like once or twice, but the one that I rewatched over and over and over again as a teenager was Batman and Robin. Particularly, I had a VHS copy and I would fast forward just to the Poison Ivy parts because it's just drag. I like campy Batman. So the campier it is, the better, in my opinion. And I like Batman villains more than I like Batman himself. I don't have Before Midnight yet, but I rewatched all 3, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. I rewatched last year, and I forgot how fucking good they are. They're just so fucking solid. I love them a lot. So, yeah. I mean, you would think by looking at my movie collection that I'm just like a romance nerd, but I'm really not. I just like people relating to each other, and most of that you're going to get in romances. But what I love the most about this particular trilogy is it's just them in conversation, for the most part. They are in conversation throughout all 3 movies. They're just talking constantly. And yeah, I love dialogue-heavy movies as well. I love comedy, dialogue-heavy movies. I like quotable movies, too. Speaking of quotable movies, look at that beautiful segue. This movie is incredible. This is a mockumentary about people that are entering their dogs into a dog show. And so you get, like, you know, this big ensemble cast, all these different characters. It's so quotable. Yeah, I told you guys I love a mockumentary, and this is the best, I think. Big Lebowski is... It used to be such a comfort movie for me. I would put this on whenever I was in my 20s. I would put it on when I was moving into a new place. I would like put it on repeat while I was like unpacking and stuff. And it is... I particularly associate it with one ex of mine that is no longer with us. So it's like his movie, you know, in my mind. It's always going to remind me of him. Not that he's anything like any of the character. Well, he's a little like Walter, because he's a fucking asshole. Anyway, still a very quotable, fun movie. I have not rewatched it since Zach died, but I probably should. Maybe I'll watch it on his birthday. That would be a great thing to do. I would actually love to do that, and I could invite some of his friends to watch it too, because everybody associates this movie with this particular person. This, if you haven't seen it, the, what is it called? Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. It's just witty, funny, campy, stupid. It is stupid. And when I say stupid about a movie, I mean it's really, really good. I like camp, if you haven't noticed. And it's just like, can't we have some fucking fun with our superheroes? And this movie is a resounding yes. Yes, we can have some fucking fun with our superheroes. Here's my wish list. Okay, current iteration of Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie. I think she's doing a great job. I would love for there to be a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Like, I would like for it to be a spoof on Thelma and Louise. Like, I want a road trip movie with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Make it happen, people. Still one of my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. It really, truly is. I was young enough in 1999. I would have been 16 when this movie came out. I was young enough and stupid enough that I believed the hype. I thought this was an actual found footage movie. I did not understand that it was actors, that the people were not dead. The campaign, the promos surrounding the movie, it all worked on me. And I think that added a layer to my understanding of this movie. Like, anyway, I love it. I just love it. I have seen it a bunch of times. I really, truly think it holds up. It's, yeah, like lots of people like copied this format and redid this format to death, but it's because this movie was fucking groundbreaking in the horror genre. It is good. Can I say something other than this movie is good? Bride of Frankenstein, I've only seen it, well, I think I have seen it a couple times. She's an icon. This is the kind of movie that you could put on mute at a party. But I remember the first time I watched it, I was really disappointed in it because I was just waiting the entire time for the bride to show up, and she's only in like the last 10 minutes of the movie. And all she does is kind of look around and hiss. But she looks fucking great doing it, so apparently I felt the need to buy this movie. I don't know why, because I never watch it. I was a huge fan of Kevin Smith movies in my teenage years. I have like 4 still. I didn't keep that many. But this one is my favorite, for sure. Whenever I was a teenager, I would use different words to describe my sexuality now, but back then I called myself bisexual because I knew that I wasn't straight, and I knew that I wasn't completely gay either. So this movie kind of helped me sort some of that shit out in a way, even though it's not like it necessarily, but this was just the only time I ever saw a bisexual character. So it was important to me. No one would be straight for Ben Affleck. I mean, yeah, that's not believable at all. You're right. I can hear you saying it through the screen. You're right. But, I mean, I haven't rewatched it in a while, but this movie's close to my heart, and I will always love it. Is this Criterion Collection? Holy fuck. That means something, doesn't it? I don't know exactly what it means, but it means something. Clueless, and this one's in a pink case. Look, guys. Yeah, I don't know. What can you say about Clueless? It's just one of those movies that got into me early. I love movies where you can just kind of like zone out and enjoy the pretty. I mean, this movie is funny. It has more to it than just the pretty. But it's just a visually stunning movie. It's just a beautiful portrait of 1994, 95. It's a beautiful portrait of 1995. 2 thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, what can you say? What can you say about Clueless? God, I can't believe I just deleted everything on my fucking SD card. God. Okay, it's alright. It's okay. This has become, in the last couple of years, one of my top 5 favorite movies. I have rewatched it more than any other movie in the last couple of years, and it's just, there's no skips. Like, every shot is meaningful, everything is beautiful, everything is, it's tight. It is a tight movie. Like, the pacing is perfect. The sound editing is really good. Yeah, it's, if you haven't rewatched it in a while, do it. It is so good. God, I'm terrible. I'm terrible talking about movies. This is a recent, like, I just saw this for the first time, like, a month ago. And it's rom-com, basically. 2 couples, Julianne Moore and Steve Carell, and Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. This is from, like, I don't know, what is it from? Like 2011. I don't know. It's just what you want in a rom-com. It's got romance. It's got comedy. You ever heard of rom-com? It's got the elements, the essential elements. I had kind of smarter things to say the first time I recorded this, but not really. Let's be real. This is Michael's. I do not enjoy dark, broody Batman. However, I would be willing to rewatch this one because I don't really remember what Heath Ledger's performance was like in Joker, but I know Michael has been whining at me recently to rewatch this, so at some point, obviously, I will watch it again because it's in my house. Okay. Bear with me while I adjust the tripod to the next little section. So these are both Michael's, Death Proof and Django Unchained. Every Quentin Tarantino movie in this house is Michael's. I feel like we're not getting good light, but oh well. Earth Girls Are Easy is, oh my god, it's like 87 or 86, I think. 88. Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. It is an out-of-this-world, down-to-earth comedy adventure. It is so stupid. Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, Jeff Goldblum, they all play aliens that crash into Gina Davis's pool. And she's a nail technician. She's like just a very ditzy, like, oh my god. There are like full ass like musical numbers in it, but not really. It's like suddenly the movie will inexplicably turn into a music video with like lip syncing, and it's just, oh my god. Including like songs by Julie Brown. I don't know if she did the whole soundtrack or not, but oh my god. I can't overstate, like, this is a spiritual sister to Barbarella. I feel like you could do a double feature with Earth Girls Are Easy and Barbarella, and it would be a really good night. A really great sleepover situation, I would say. Sleepover double feature movie situation. I am a latecomer to this. I first discovered this movie, like, 8 years ago. I mean, I knew it existed, but I thought, oh god, that's probably stupid. And I don't really like Christmas-themed movies. But I really fell for the stupidity of Will Ferrell's performance in, like, particularly the first 2/3 of this movie. I don't really like the last part of the movie. And the last couple times I watched it, I didn't really like it, so I didn't even watch it this last. So I don't know if I'm over it or not, but I mean, surely I'll come back to it at some point. I might just need a break. I just maybe need a break from Elf. I was a latecomer to Elvira. Look at this. It's the Buffy font. Before Buffy, but barely, because this is 96. So it's possible that Elvira and Buffy discovered their signature font at the same time. I don't know. I did not start loving Elvira in general until like maybe 5 years ago, but I fell hard. I had an Elvira calendar last year, and let me tell you, every single month was hot, and I enjoyed it. I just like the drag of her, and this movie is so campy, and it's like it would. I kind of lament the fact that I didn't see this movie in 1996, because then it would be like something that I quote all the time, but I just discovered it like a year or two ago. I watched it once on like a streaming service, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I've been missing out on this movie since 1996. And then I bought it, and I haven't watched it again, because that's how it goes these days. This was something that I watched over and over and over again. I still quote it all the time. The fantasy of working in a record store, like this movie embodies that fantasy, and it's not the only one that you'll see here. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is probably like one of my top 20 movies of all time, perhaps. I mean, y'all have seen it, right? If you haven't, you need to. You need to. I really like movies that explore the dream world and the ephemeral nature of your brain and memory, the ephemeral nature of memory and the dream world. And this one deals with that. And also the performances are perfection from Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. Yeah, I mean, every time I watch this movie, I go into it thinking, oh my God, what if I don't like this anymore? And every time I'm like, no, I love it. I fucking love it. Of course I do. Oh, wait. I don't have good dexterity today. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Obviously, this is a new find because it just came out like 2 years ago. I really like how, like, the general message of this movie is that, you know, the only thing that really matters is if we're kind to each other, is if we as humans take care of each other. That's the thing that matters. That's what matters. And yeah, it was by far my favorite movie of the year. What year was it? 2022. Yeah, that's what I thought. This one's Michael's. I don't know if I've ever seen it. Maybe I have. It's like they bring people back from the dead or something. I don't know. Okay, I gotta take a second. Because when you look at the Ghostbusters movie with the girls in it, what do you think? I don't want you to answer in the comments. I just want you to reflect. Because if you think that this wasn't a good movie, you are incorrect. Watch it again. It's comedy gold. Like, it is exactly what it says on the box. A blast. Fun oozes from every frame. It is a good time. It is hilarious. I mean, how can you see a movie with Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon, Melissa fucking McCarthy, and Kristen Wiig, and Chris Hemsworth too? He's good at comedy. How can you see a movie with that amazing cast and are you kidding me? Like, all the fucking stupid ass Ghostbuster movies they're making now, this is the one. Ginger Snaps is a spiritual sequel to Carrie. This is one of those, like, when you first get your period, you turn into a monster type horror movies, which is one of my favorite subgenres of horror movies. This is one of those situations where I finally got around to watching this movie like 5 years ago, and I loved it immediately and bought it. But I don't think I have watched it since I bought it. God, I gotta like start fixing that. Why do I only watch movies once if I've discovered them recently? That's really sad. Gravity, this one was one that, like, I think someone donated to the library, and I was like, meh, I liked that movie. I like Sandra Bullock. That was a good movie. I do enjoy a movie like this. I don't know how to talk about it. I mean, it's just like a story of survival, right? Those movies that are really claustrophobic, and I'm surprised I don't own The Martian, actually. Maybe I should buy that one, but I like movies like that. Hackers, I mean, what can you say? You thought your secrets were safe. You were wrong. I mean, like, if you grew up in the time of Hackers, and, I mean, you loved it, didn't you? Like, I don't know anyone my age that didn't love Hackers. It's just a good movie. It just is. This is another one that's Michael's. All the Quentin Tarantino movies. I think I said that already. I haven't seen this one. In fact, it's still in the wrapper. I think Michael hasn't seen it. I think he was telling me the other day that he bought it because it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, but he hasn't actually watched it yet. Because he's just like, he's not much of a movie watcher, and since I don't care about Quentin Tarantino, I think just to be nice to him, I need to like suggest that we watch it or something. I just like, I'm so over Quentin Tarantino's whole fucking thing. I'm not into it. Overall. The Heat, Sandy B, Melissa McCarthy. I would say that Melissa McCarthy is definitely one of my top 5 actors of all time. And I also love Sandra Bullock. And this movie is just laugh until you pee in your pants, kind of funny. Great soundtrack. I intend to really enjoy Paul Feig movies, as I'm sure you can see. It's just hilarious. If you haven't seen it, if you liked Bridesmaids, this is a good one for you. High Fidelity. This is the one, like, artwork that I actually saved from the tornado. I mean, it's like all messed up. I put it in a new case though. And this is my favorite kind of DVD case, guys. You know, the kind that have like these little tabs that you have to pull just to open it. I don't know, for some reason that makes me feel special. So anytime I find one of these cases with the little tabs, I put like one of my favorite movies in it. This one I need to rewatch again. I haven't seen it in a while, but this is a movie I've seen 1,000 times. I would have told you 10 years ago this was my favorite movie of all time. It's probably still on the top 10. I love the book, ? I tried to reread it recently and it annoyed me and I put it down. But I love the TV series that came out a few years ago. I love this movie. And I love the book. It's just, yeah, it's good. That's all. Hits all the laugh bases. There you go. Seriously, just going to start reading the covers. All 4 Hunger Games movies. I haven't rewatched this in a long time, but The Hunger Games is, as a book series, it got me through 2011, which was the hardest year of my life. Particularly in the books, like the way that the author approaches trauma and how it presents in this character, Katniss Everdeen, it just really, really resonated with me. I have reread that trilogy of books several times. I don't normally get into fantasy in general as far as books, but anyway, and the movies, I felt like they did a really good job of capturing the general essence of the books. So I was pleasantly surprised by the movies, and that's why I bought the 4-film collection. But I don't remember, I just haven't rewatched them, like, since they came out. I mean, I saw them a few times after they came out, maybe, but you know, it's just one of those things that I'm sure I found at Target for like $10 or something, and I was like, okay, yeah. Oh, guys, okay. If you haven't seen this one, you gotta do it. You gotta fucking do it. Betty Gilpin is an underappreciated talent. She's one of the main stars of the TV show Glow, which I would also highly recommend. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. Please watch it. And this movie, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, it's a super fucking violent action movie that has some political commentary in it that I think is really thought-provoking. And this is what I wish Quentin Tarantino was, kind of. Yeah, I feel like if you do like that type of movie, like Quentin Tarantino, like really fucking violent, but also sort of like self-righteous violence, you know, and revenge. This movie has that, but it's more subtle than that. I don't know. This one I feel like I never hear people talking about, but when did it come out? Like 5 years ago or so? 2020. Came out in 2020. This should have been a big deal, but it probably got buried in, you know, the first year of the pandemic. It probably just like didn't go to theaters because of the pandemic, I'm assuming. I know it got delayed in being released because it's... Let me just read you the back, because I don't know how to describe things. In this subversive satire, a group of elites gather for the very first time at a remote manor house to hunt ordinary Americans for sport. But the elites' master plan is about to be derailed because one of the hunted, Crystal, Betty Gilpin, knows the hunter's game better than they do. She turns the tables on the killers. Okay, there you go. Like, yeah. I want to watch it right now. It's so fucking good. That's all I say about any of these. It's so good, guys. It's so good. Hustlers. What do I say about this one? Constance Wu, J-Lo, Julia Stiles. I don't know what to say about it, but I like it. This is Michael's Indiana Jones, the first 3 movies, I think. The Adventure Collection. I do not give a shit about Indiana Jones. At all. I find the women in these movies, I just can't get past it. I just can't get past it. Maybe that's why I like rom-coms, because there's actually women in those movies. And they're not just victims every single time. Inglourious Bastards, again, Michael's. I have seen this one. Yeah. I've seen this one. It's fine. I mean, it's Quentin Tarantino. Okay, I gotta readjust again. And there's actually something on the floor. I need to move out of the way. Okay, are you ready? This video is going to be longer than I thought it was going to be. Jennifer's Body. I'm glad it sort of had a resurgence in the last few years. I saw it when it came out. I am a fan of, isn't this Diablo Cody who did Juno? I think so. Where do you find that information? Oh, I forgot Adam Brody is in this. Anyway, it's another good girl monster movie. I love a girl who is a monster. I just, you know, really in any context, I'm into it. This is one. This is a Nora Ephron movie. Did you guys know this? Just like in the last year or so, I just thought, let me watch this movie again, because I was watching a bunch of, I think it was exactly a year ago, because I always watch a ton of rom-coms around Christmas time and the beginning of the year for some reason. I just do it every fucking year. Just naturally. Just start doing it. And I forgot about this movie, and I rewatched it, and I was like, this feels like a Nora Ephron movie. Oh, it is. It is a Nora Ephron movie. So it's basically a rom-com, but it's not between, you know, a couple. It's between these two people that have never met. I don't know. It's just really witty, and it is a good Nora Ephron movie. Yeah. This, okay. I always proselytize for this movie. If you like Die Hard, you will like Long Kiss Goodnight. It is an action movie set at Christmas time. The script is fucking fantastic. It is so quotable. Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson action movie from 1996, set at Christmas time. It is very actiony. I was watching it. I watch it every Christmas time. And I watched it with Michael and my mom this year. And Michael, there was an explosion at the end of the movie that Michael said, I think that's the biggest explosion I've ever seen in a movie. So, if that's important to you, if you like explosions, this was the movie that made me fall in love with Gina Davis. When this movie first came out, 96, when it was in theaters, I saw it in theaters 10 times. I mean, that's the number that I think of every time. Like, I think that same number about Moulin Rouge, so maybe it's not completely accurate, but I did see it as many times as I could get to it. Because it was just like all I could think about. And I immediately became obsessed with Gina Davis. I watched everything that she'd ever been in, which is the whole reason why I know about Earth Girls Are Easy. I started doing a smoky eye. Like, Gina Davis in this movie is my goth origin story. And when you rewatch it, it's not even that smoky of an eye. It's hilarious. Anyway, I love Long Kiss Goodnight. Please fucking watch it instead of Die Hard next time you're thinking about watching Die Hard. I'm just saying, give it a chance. You will love it. Mallrats is another Kevin Smith movie that I love. This one is probably the most quoted movie in our household, perhaps, by Michael specifically. He can recite entire, like, paragraphs of dialogue from this movie. And it's just like, you know, is it a good movie? It's just fun. It's just fun. Here's my other copy of Matrix, the Blu-ray version. And I also have the fourth movie because I actually liked it when it came out. I don't think of it as part of the trilogy, and I'm not one of those people. Okay, if I'm going to talk about Matrix, might as well give you guys a good visual here. I am not one of those people that doesn't like the sequels of the Matrix. I think I think of them, and I even said this in my last video without realizing I was doing it. I was referring to the entire trilogy as a movie because I think of it as one. You know, usually when I'm rewatching The Matrix, I'm rewatching all three movies. Not like on the same night or anything, but like when I rewatch The Matrix, I watch all three, you know? I see it as one storyline because that is kind of the way it was created. Like, yeah, this one is better as a standalone than the others, but they didn't know if they were going to get to do the other two when they finished that one, I don't think. But I think the whole story is important. Are there some bloated action sequences, particularly in the third movie? Yes. I think they probably could have said what they needed to say in one more movie instead of two, but I don't know. Everybody's always like, oh, the second two movies were terrible. And it's like, no, they weren't. There was so much philosophy and shit to, like, really sink your teeth into in the second two movies. I don't know. And I think people loved to hate on the fourth one, too, and there was a little bit of, like, I definitely think they could have done a better job, and it is sort of sad that, like, he ended up back in the Matrix, you know? They ended up back in the Matrix. So, like, when I rewatch the Matrix, am I always going to go on to the fourth movie? Maybe, maybe not. But I was pleasantly surprised by it. This one is Michael's. I personally don't really get the whole Monty Python thing. Like, I respect it, but I don't really get it. Okay, Napoleon Dynamite. This is one of my top 5. I genuinely, unironically love this movie. I feel seen by this movie. This movie gives me elementary school vibes. Specifically, it's like I was instantly nostalgic for this movie as soon as it just, the vibes are right. I reread this book recently. Oh my God, what a fucking sad book. And I've read it several times. I kind of want to force myself to watch the movie again because I don't know if I like it anymore. In fact, I think I'm going to just set it aside to force myself to take it upstairs so I can watch it. Our DVD player is upstairs, but most of our DVDs are downstairs. Whatever. This is where we have like this built-in shelf that holds all these. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this movie, actually. I suspect that I'm not going to want to keep it. So we're gonna give that one another shot. What else should I take upstairs? Elvira, yes. What else was I thinking? Oh my God, I need to watch this again. What did I say that about? You guys want to hang out while I look at this? Dark Knight, but I gotta watch that with Michael. Okay, anyway, let me move on. Pretty in Pink. And I also, like, at the sale shelf, sometimes they will put cases that, you know, because we have to change out cases when we buy them at the library, with, like, locking cases, library cases, and we'll sell the cases on the sale shelf. So some kids' movies come in, like, cool, bright colors, and when I see those, I buy them. So Pretty in Pink is in a pink case. Isn't that perfect? This is one of the John Hughes movies that I didn't... Did I see it? I know I saw it as a teenager, but it wasn't one of those that I watched over and over again, like the ones in the last video that I talked about. But I do really like this one. Overall, like, all John Hughes movies have their problems. I wish they had gone with the original ending instead of the one that they ended up changing it to. But other than that, this is a movie that I don't necessarily watch all the way through because I'm not really in for the ending. But it's still good. Ooh, this movie really, a game-changing masterpiece, as the box says, yes. This is a really upsetting but really true feeling movie. And it was one of those movies when it came out, which was only like 5 years ago, right? Less than? 2019. Yeah, so about 5 years ago, I guess. I had to show it to everyone. It was one of those movies. It's like, okay, I'm gonna watch it with my mom, gonna watch it with my Michael, gonna show it to my friend Cody. Like, I feel like I specifically took it to several different people, which is what I do when I really fall in love with a movie. Is I want to watch it over and over again, and I want to see the people in my life experiencing it for the first time. Something that I've been doing ever since Carrie. Yeah, this is a difficult one to watch, but it is so good. And so, like, I don't know, it feels important. I don't have a lot of movies in my life that feel important, you know? This is Pulp Fiction, Michael's. Real genius. Okay, I have a stupid story associated with this one. I had the last scene of this movie, like maybe the last 20 minutes or so of this movie, was at the end of a VHS tape. So it was like my mom had recorded over it, but whatever movie she recorded over it with wasn't as long as Real Genius. So I don't even remember what movie it was, But as a kid, I would watch the last 20 minutes of Real Genius, but I didn't know that it was Real Genius because that wasn't on the label on the VHS tape. So when Michael and I first started dating, he was like, you have to watch this movie. This is one of his favorite movies. And I was like, oh my God, this is the popcorn movie. This is the popcorn movie. This is like one of those, I'd always wanted to know, what movie is this from? It was totally out of context, you know? But anyway, that is just my stupid story of this movie, is that, like, I'd seen the last scene of the movie as a kid a bunch of times, but I had never seen the whole movie. And it is just, it's very good. I would watch this over Weird Science any fucking day. It's so much better than that. Real Genius is swift, brainy, buoyant, fun, says the Village Voice. 85. Yeah, it is definitely buoyant fun, for sure. I love it a lot, and Michael and I watch it a lot. I've seen it many, many, many times, even though I didn't start watching it until I was in my, like, mid-20s, but Reality Bites, yeah, just one that got in me early. How much would I love this now? I don't know. But I think I would have a different perspective on it. You know, those coming-of-age movies, like, as you get older, you have different thoughts about them, you know? Okay, you guys, if you like zombie movies with heart, if you would like to have a zombie movie with heart, this is it. Return of the Living Dead 3. I don't have any of the others. I don't know about the others. But this one, like, not only is this bitch super hot, but she's, like, recently dead when she's reanimated, so she still retains a lot of her humanity, and she doesn't want to kill her boyfriend and eat his flesh, so she starts mutilating herself because sort of the pain is a surrogate for eating flesh or something. I don't know. But she ends up just looking really cool because she's got all this glass sticking out of her, and she, like, sticks, like, nails through her nails and, like, all this stuff. When I was a teenager and I saw this, I felt very seen by it because I was very much a self-mutilating goth girl, you know. I enjoyed seeing that in a horror context, and I still think it's kind of smart. I mean, I don't know if they were meaning to do this, but, like, she was trying to hurt herself instead of hurting others. You know, she was internalizing her pain as a zombie. And I just think that's an interesting commentary, and I never hear anyone talking about this fucking movie. But Return of the Living Dead 3. Watch it if you like zombie movies. Romy Michelle's high school reunion. This reminds me of a friendship that I had in high school. Like, I was Romy, she was Michelle. You know? Yeah. And the dance at the end that they do with, what's his name? What is his name? Oh, Janine Garofalo's in this too, which I just fucking love her. I feel like I don't see her in enough things. I should probably seek her out more. What is his name? God damn it. I don't see it on the case. But the guy that Michelle's character ends up with at the end, that dance that they do, the three of them at the reunion, I've always, like, I have a dream of doing that dance with Michael and my friend Kim. I don't know. Yeah, this is just sweet. Just sweet. The same word I use for all the movies I like. Yeah, I mean, I'm at exactly the right age to love Scream. the original Scream. It's the only one I need. It is a very, very good horror movie. I don't even like slasher movies. This is the one slasher movie I can stand. Unless you characterize Nightmare on Elm Street as a slasher movie, which I don't have yet, but I need to get that one. Was this 96? Trying to find the year on it. I don't know. Whatever. It probably is. This is so long already. This one's Michael's. I don't know if it would hold up for me. This is another one that, like, I watched once. I was pleasantly surprised by it, and then it showed up on the sale shelf at the library, so I bought it. This was a suggestion from a friend, and I was able to find it on a streaming service. I watched it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. But I just haven't watched it again since then. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. It's another fun-colored case. This is the spiritual sister, or brother, I guess, to Ghost World, SLC Punk. This is another, like, coming of age, like, you're in your early 20s, you don't know who you are, you don't know who you're going to become, you don't want to be your dad, but, you know, John Hughes meets Sid and Nancy. Sharp, funny, and relentlessly in your face. I really, really like Matthew Lillard. I think he was underutilized as an actor in his younger years. And maybe I just don't know about, like, many of the things that he's been in since. But this movie was something that I see differently as I get older. You know, I used to think he was such a sellout at the end of the movie, but now I get it. Now I get it, why he decided to become a lawyer at the end, you know? Like, yeah, this is just, and it has a good soundtrack. It reminds me of a lot of the weirdos that I knew growing up, even though it wasn't so much a punk scene, quote unquote. It was a little different from that, but still, this is just a really, yeah, and it still holds up. I rewatched it again recently. Oh my god, I didn't know I had this one. I didn't know I had this one. This is probably my least favorite of the Nora Ephron movies. I would kind of rather have When Harry Met Sally than Sleepless in Seattle in my life, but it is one that I've seen many, many, many times, and I probably found it somewhere for super cheap, so I didn't even realize I didn't even know I had this one. Another Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy movie. Gotta love it. I mean, this is, like, probably the least good. You know, I would say Bridesmaids is number one, then The Heat, then this one. But it's still good. It still is, you know, just making fun of the sort of, like, the action genre. And I mean, I know that there are some people that don't like Melissa McCarthy, and I'm like, who are you? What is wrong with you? She's a fucking national treasure. But yeah, I still have seen this one several times. Wait a second. Oh no, this is a different Star Trek motion picture than the one that's in the binder. This is the older one. Yeah, I think I acquired this one recently because, like, maybe someone donated it to the library or something. And I was like, sure, we need that, right? So I think this is the only one of the Star Trek movies from that era that we have. This one was one that, like, one of my mom's friends was getting rid of, and Michael was like, I want to see Starship Troopers. I never saw that. And so we ended up with it. And we started watching it, and I know I saw it when it first came out, but it is bad. And not in a campy bad, good bad kind of way. It is just bad bad. But Michael was like, no, I like it. So we kept it. Stigmata is, I like religious shit sometimes. I'm fascinated by when people are just, when it's like a belief movie that actually is like the real message that Christianity should be, you know? Like Dogma and Stigmata. Those two could be spiritual twins. This one's not funny at all. This one's more of a horror movie, but it's really good. And Michael and I actually saw this movie together in theaters in high school. So, when did it come out? 2000. Okay. 2000. This is also just a really beautiful movie. Very stylized. Like, I don't know who directed it, but I would believe you if you said that it was a music video director. Let's find out who directed it. See if I recognize. I'm not going to recognize. Rupert Wainwright. It says a Rupert Wainwright film. So I'm assuming that's the director. Have no idea. Have costume designer, production designer, director, photographer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nah. Anyway. Yeah. So Michael and I, he says it was a date, but at the time I wouldn't have thought of it as a date because I had a boyfriend. But the two of us saw this movie together in high school. He remembers this. I believe him, but I don't remember. This is probably one of those movies that because I would do this. If I saw a movie that I loved, I would just go to it over and over and over again and bring different people in my life each time. So this was one of the times that I apparently decided to bring Michael. He's like, that was our first date. Suicide Squad, another, like, this one's like really, really fucking violent. But I remembered it being fun. I think I've only seen it once or twice, but I remember thinking, oh, this is a fun comic book movie. I don't hate this. There's like, I have been so oversaturated with the Marvel movies, the DC movies, just like all of those, that I got to a point a few years ago where like every time one of those movies didn't disappoint me, I would be like, I would buy it. So I don't know if I would still like this one, but I'm sure I got it for like $5 or something. Oh my god, speaking of amazing, flawless comic book movies, Tank Girl. In 2033, Justice rides a tank and wears lip gloss. Naomi Watts, Lori Petty. Okay, this is like 1995. Okay, I was going to say 94. What can I say about Tank Girl? Tank Girl has been a spirituality for me. I have watched this movie at least 30 times. This is one that I actually do. I've been thinking about it. Like, it's time for a rewatch. I don't think I've watched Tank Girl in like 5 years. It needs to happen. Thor Ragnarok. I really like Taika Waititi. I have liked every TV show he's ever been involved in. And this was my introduction to him as a director. And it was the first, like, I was already so fatigued by Marvel movies, but I was still going to all of them for some reason. I'm trying to see the date of this fucking movie. Is it on the disc? Why do they make it so hard? It's not on the disc. It's not on the disc. And I just like have no concept of time because everything feels like, maybe that was 5 years ago. I don't know. The text is too goddamn small, so I can't tell. In this light, I cannot tell. But anyway, when this movie came out, I was so fatigued by Marvel movies. But this one brought the fucking fun back, man. The most fun you'll ever have at a Marvel movie. I still think that's true. Thor Ragnarok is a good time. It is, I've seen it many times since it came out. Oh, this is one I need to rewatch too. This is one that Michael really likes, and it showed up on the sale shelf like a year or so ago, and I bought it, but we haven't watched it since I got it. I think I want to make a new rule that if I'm going to buy a DVD, I have to watch it like within a month of buying it. I have to be ready to watch it right then. I can't just buy it to have it in my collection and put it on the shelf. I need to actually watch the damn thing. So this is one that I'll set that one aside to watch soon. I don't know why I have this one. I don't have any specific memories. Like, I know I've seen it, and I like Talking Heads, but I don't... Is this movie good? The most joyous and inventive rock movie musical since the Beatles scrambled through Help. So, I mean, I probably need to watch this again just to see if I want to keep it, but a completely cool, multi-purpose movie. 1986. Working Girl. I don't think I realized that I have this. I have nostalgia for this movie. Is there any other reason to own Working Girl? I don't know. I really don't like Harrison Ford, and he's a super creep in this movie. But I love the 80s vibes. They cannot be denied. Okay, I'm going to have to do a bigger adjustment this time. So bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to have to like lower the tripod. And it might not be cute. Nope. Okay. Okay. Walking around with the tripod, and the lighting is even worse. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait. The lighting's not as bad as I thought it was. I just needed to turn the angle. Okay. This that I'm not going to get out is the entire Friends series in a really big, cumbersome box. I watched Friends since pretty much the beginning. And I think those 6 people from that show had amazing physical comedy skills. And I think for the early 90s, to the, like, the show ended in like 2003 or something, right? It was very, very good for its time, and I do think overall it holds up for me. This is not one I rewatch that often, though, because I don't really rewatch sitcoms, but my mom bought that for me, and it is, like, important to me to have the entire Friends series. 12 Monkeys, this is Michael's. He tried to make me watch it, but I really didn't like it. I watched like 5 episodes and I just couldn't continue. This is the Buffy that I showed you in the last video. This is the entire Angel series, which I don't necessarily need that in my life, but I have it. This is, I just bought this yesterday. Showed up on the sale shelf. I've never seen this Batman series with Adam West, but since I like campy Batman, I figure I might like this, right? So this is the first season. I'm going to set this aside, actually, because I just got it yesterday. So I'm going to follow my new rule. I just got these actually like a week ago. I was looking for other things at the local physical media store, and they had the first 5 seasons of Dexter on sale for $6 a pop. So I kind of had to, because I do really love Dexter as a series, and I don't have any of it. I don't own any of it. So, there are still 2 other seasons to make my collection complete, but I will get those later. or not at all. I may not get the last season because I hated the last season. Oh my god, have you guys seen this show? Hacks. It's on Max. It is comedy. It's so tight. It's so well written. It's so rewatchable. I've already seen both seasons 1 and 2 like 3 or 4 times through. Easy. Like, Jean Smart and Hannah Einbinder is the other. They're just like a comedy duo, basically. And it's just so, it gives Designing Women, I'm not just saying that because Jean Smart was in it, it gives, I don't know, it seems like it's iconic, but it's a show that's on now. I have the first 2 seasons of IT Crowd. I have a huge crush on Richard Ayoade. He's my main number one celebrity crush, I would say. Yeah, it's just a good workplace comedy show, and I'm into that kind of thing. Did you know that even though iZombie has 5 seasons, only the first 3 were ever put on DVD? And I've never been able to find the 2nd or 3rd season, but I have the first. You can't even stream beyond season 2. So I'm so pissed that I didn't like somehow acquire these DVDs. I don't know. I might have to resort to weird means to get the other seasons of iZombie, because all I have is the first season, and I watched the whole thing as it was airing, and I really liked it. It's funny, cute, procedural type show. It's by the same guy that did Veronica Mars. I don't know, I thought it was a good show, but I wanted to rewatch it recently, and only the first 2 seasons are streaming, and I only own the first one, so I'd really like to have more of that show. But same story with New Girl. I only have the first 2 seasons of New Girl, and I really, really, really love this show. It's a very good, I would say it's Friends Next Generation, you know? But I only have the first 2 seasons, and it's actually really hard to find. I think there are like 5 or 6 seasons, I don't know how many. 5 to 7 seasons. You can still stream them all, thankfully, but I can't find them on DVD. I mean, I can, but they're charging like $30 to $50 per season online right now. Anyway, so that's one that I would love to complete at some point. Okay, so this is, you saw this in the last video, that's Office. We're finally towards the end, guys. This is the entire That 70s Show. I think we got this because Michael wanted it. We haven't watched it since buying it. And it's one of those super goddamn annoying cases. Oh my god, I'm going to show you this. They're all, can you see this? They're in these like paper folders, just in a stack inside this case. But it is very compact, and it probably cost us like $25 to buy this entire fucking series. So I'm not gonna complain about it. And I don't really care about it enough to like put it in a binder or something. I don't know if That 70s Show holds up. I really don't know. But we have it. It's taken up barely any space in my life, so. And these are the 2 MTV Unplugs that we have. Alice in Chains, this is Michael's. It's still in the wrapper. And then the iconic Nirvana Unplugged. These are just cases that I haven't done anything with yet. So that is the end of DVD Cases edition, but I want to show you guys my VHS tapes because there's only like a handful of them. So I'm going to have to change the shot to show you that, but yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna have to stand to the right because I'm gonna provide shadow. Okay, here's my, oh no, I thought I had this worked out, but I didn't. Okay, hold on. Let's see, maybe I can just angle down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So this is my current, so I did lose all of my VHS tapes in the tornado, but I have slowly acquired them since then. A few. I would like to have a few more than this, but this is almost everything. So first of all, the last 3 DVDs, these are my workout DVDs because my TV that I work out with is right behind me. So this is just a more convenient location. So this is Vina and Nina present Belly Dance Fitness for Beginners. So this one is actually like I switched it to a case that holds 3. So it has belly dance basic moves, which I do all the time. Belly dance slim down, which that is a good one too. And then belly dance arms, abs, hips, buns, and thighs, which is actually 2 separate workouts. You can either do arms and abs or hips, buns, and thighs, or do them all at once. So I just decided to have like, I just recently converted it to a case that fits 3 in one case. And then this one is Discover Belly Dance that has 3 different sort of choreographed dances that you learn in it. Sorry, this is a very squeaky part of the floor that I'm standing on right now. Every time I move. And then the only other like type of workout I can stand is Rodney Yee yoga. So this has, anyway, just a couple of different workouts that I like of his in there. So those are my workout DVDs. My workout DVD collection right there. 8 discs and only 3 cases. So compact, so beautiful. Okay, and then you can see what the rest of these are. These are garbage music videos. This next one is one that I bought, Sarah McLachlan Video Collection, 1989 to 94. I've never watched it, but I saw it a few years ago in a store and I bought it because I love Sarah McLachlan. And my VCR is currently not working. I just tried to watch one of these the other day and it wouldn't, I hadn't turned it on in a while and it wasn't letting go of the tape that's in it. So anyway, gonna have to do something about that. Bandits, I also have this one on DVD, but it's that Billy Bob Thornton, Bruce Willis, Cate Blanchett movie. One of the year's best films. Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. Clearly out of steam here. Contact, gotta love it, right? It's just iconic, and for some reason, this one I had to have on VHS. It just seemed right. And I also, when I see Long Kiss Goodnight, I buy it a lot of the time. And this was the second VHS copy of it, and I'm giving the other copy to a friend of mine that I know would love it and has a VCR. This is another thing that's really important for me to have on DVD. The Mind's Eye, A Computer Animation Odyssey. So this is like early computer animation. What year is this? How am I going to be able to find it? God, I'm so exhausted by trying to find years on movie cases. Why don't they make it easy? It's in Roman numerals. I don't understand it. I hate it when they do that. I'm whiny. I'm very whiny today. Anyway, I grew up with this. This was like something that I watched at my dad's house, and this is actually the copy that used to belong to my dad. It's one of the only things I have from him. So this one is, if for no other reason I need a working, well, I have a lot. This isn't all my VHS tapes. Like, thankfully, my home videos they were protected from the tornado. I had all of my like commercial VHS tapes like this. I had a ton of them when the tornado hit, but they all got ruined because they were out in the open. But all of my home videos were protected inside of like a slidey case thing. You know, the one from the 80s. It's actually behind me right now. But they were protected, thankfully. So I still have all of my old home videos and stuff. I have quite a few. You're not going to see those today because there's really nothing to see. But yeah, these are the only like commercial ones that I've rebought. This one I just got like this last weekend. It was 99 cents. And I had to. The movie The Net on VHS tape. This is the one I tried to watch the other day. As soon as I got home, I tried to pop this in the VCR, but I couldn't. Thankfully, my mom, who is kind of a hoarder, has a fucking VCR. I texted her, like, do you have an extra VCR just hanging out in your garage? And she's like, yes, I do. So, don't worry, I will not be without a VCR for long, guys. I know you were worried about it. So there you go. This thus concludes my movie collection, movie and TV show collection. Next will be, what should I do next? Vote in the comments below. Should I do my cassette tapes next? Should I do my CDs next? Or records? Those are your choices. CDs, cassettes, or records. Let me know in the comments below. Your vote counts. Every vote counts. Oh my god, I'm delirious. Okay, bye!